Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm Peter Martin. Welcome. Welcome to Shelter in Place number 52. Yes, you are counting correctly. I am counting correctly. We are at 1 year, and I am so grateful and thankful and ecstatic that you are here with me this evening. I see my Zoom folks over here. I can actually see the chat tonight, which is a rare thing for me. So I've got that set up. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for the hand clapping and the love and all that. And I'm excited to be here. I started out with Amazing Grace, which I hadn't done in quite some time. So we brought that back and then went right into Swingin' at the Haven, which was written by the late, great Ellis Marsalis, who we lost almost exactly a year ago, and was one of my musical fathers, one of our whole generation's musical fathers. So we're always lifting up his name and thankful for the music that he left us and the spirit and all that. How are you guys doing tonight? I hope that you're feeling well. I hope that you're having a good time. I'm your captain. I'm your captain and Tennille this week. So sit back and relax for about the next hour or so. We put together a little, very short kind of look back. I'm not a huge, looking back. I'm more about looking forward, especially now because we're looking forward towards that light. We're starting to see that light. We see the tunnel, and the light's, starting to come in there. So, but I wanted just as a thank you to you guys, really, we threw a few fun things together that I'm going to play. It's just 3 minutes, 4 minutes long, something like that, at the very end of the show tonight. So please stick around for that. And I have so many people to thank tonight. I'm going to try to do it in between the music and not talk too much. But mainly, I want to thank all of you guys, the audience that has showed up week in and week out. If we have any new folks, welcome to you guys, and thank you for being here. We've been doing this every week for the last 52 weeks, meeting on Friday as we had to stay socially distant. We were staying spiritually connected through the music, and I can't tell you how much I benefited from this. So, I just thank you guys. It's just a lot of gratitude for you guys showing up and giving me this platform to play and to practice, and really just a platform to serve, And so it's been a wonderful meeting point, and I've gotten used to playing with the virtual audience, and I feel the love so much. So I'm excited to go back to playing in person, but I'm also excited to keep doing this because I think I'm kind of making some connections. And I'm so grateful for meeting so many of you. I can't wait to meet you in real life, IRL, as we say. But I feel like I know some of you so much. So I just want to shout out some people. First of all, we've had some amazing sponsors over this last year, and this has been very informal, just like folks that reached out to me or folks that I knew from around St. Louis and beyond. But I put out a call to all of our sponsors, and basically everybody said they wanted in for tonight. And so I'm so grateful for that. And that's really what I wanted, was just a community spirit of our sponsors and of everybody. So tonight is sponsored by a bunch of folks, so I'm just going to throw them out there real quick. First of all, James Clark is our mainline sponsor. James Clark out of New York City, who sponsored some shows earlier and is he's a player himself. He's an Open Studio student and a big supporter, so thank you, James. Parker's Table and John Parker, I got to show you guys something from them a little bit later. One of our very earliest sponsors, thank you, John. And Jon Mendelson Realtors. These are the two Johns, Jon. Jon Mendelson and John Parker was I think our very first sponsor at the very beginning. So thanks for that. Rob Endicott stepped up and sponsored. He also hooked us up with that really fun blues night that we did, I don't know, a few months ago with the Blues Museum when they sponsored. David Robinson and his wife Marie, they sponsored. They've been such a great support. David is also one of our students at Open Studio, but he's been there, I think, every week. He's been on the Zoom, and I feel like I know him. And this was not necessary. Everybody didn't have to do this, but it is very appreciated. David, via John Parker, sent this, and it arrived at my house, hand-delivered by John Parker yesterday. I hope I'm not calling out John. I don't know if he does hand deliveries all the time. But this is a beautiful bottle, let me not drop it in my sweaty hands, of Willet Bourbon. Small reserve, Tot Small Reserve. So I haven't even opened this yet. I can't wait to get home tonight and open this, and I'm going to toast you, David, and everybody. So thank you for that, and thank you for the sponsorship. Insight Endurance. This is Ian Marling. He is a game changer. How do I know that? Because he changed the game for me over these past 7 months that I've been training with him. as my virtual and in-person running coach and mindfulness coach. He's amazing. Go to insightendurance.com and see if you can get in on some of that. I don't know how many openings he has, but it's definitely worth checking out. It's changed the game for me, and I can't tell you how appreciative I am to you, Ian, and Insight Endurance for sponsoring tonight. Brian Fielding, who you're going to hear some more about, who's one of our partners at Open Studios, sponsoring. Thank you, Brian. Toby Martin, who sponsored one of our very recent shows, great pianist right here in St. Louis and supporter of the music. Cheryl Marting, who is, I can't believe she did this. She sponsored, and she also left me a note here today because she's been tuning like crazy. So Cheryl is really been as she put it in her note, the chief of the pit crew. She has been here since the beginning when it wasn't even that, no one knew what was going on, and I felt bad asking her that it was safe to come in here. I said, I won't be here. I'm going to leave the key for you. Can you come in and work on the piano so I can do these shows every week? And she's been doing it, and she's been coming in. We didn't even see each other for months then. We kind of saw each other behind a mask, but she's in here all the time, and she's the one that makes this piano do the things that it can do. I just put the little icing on top. She said, if this piano, she left me this note this morning. If this piano were a car, I'd say you put about 1,000 miles a week on her. But you took all of us on a scenic journey through beautiful vistas, landscapes of hope and joy and fun. Yeah, thank you, Cheryl. So I would tell you, yeah, she's sponsoring, so I need to say stay tuned piano service. But don't be stealing her from me because I need her a lot here. But if you need your piano tuned, you can try to get her if you can. And then my family, too, that has sponsored and supported so much. Thank you guys so much. Ben and Nancy Martin Rosenthal in Tacoma Park. This is my sister, my brother-in-law. Thank you guys. These have been some of my biggest supporters and are co-sponsoring tonight. And last but certainly not least are my parents, Bill and Rose Martin, who are co-sponsoring tonight. Well, they actually co-sponsored my life. So that's that's pretty good right there. But they're also co-sponsoring this evening, so thank you. And I'm going to get to some more music. I got more people to thank, but we're going to do it as we go. So basically tonight, I'm playing all stuff that I really want to play. It's just like I've been looking forward to this, and I just wanted to do things, kind of some of my favorites, and some stuff that I know you guys like too because you've told me. But this is the first week where I didn't have to learn new stuff. I've loved learning new stuff, but this is basically my vacation week. I'm just playing stuff that I love to play. So a lot of people have been like, do you need to take a week off? I'm like, no, I love doing this. I don't need a week off if you guys don't need a week off. And somebody else asked me recently, and someone had asked me this before. They were like, wow, that's so cool you're doing those shows. Like, how do you do that and make it seem like it's live? And I realized, I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, man, it seems like you're actually playing in real time. And so I just assumed everybody knew that this was live, but in case you didn't, this is live. In the old days, you'd bring like a newspaper to show, like if you're a hostage, to prove that it was today. But I can tell you that it's 7:24 Central Time right now, and every single one of these shows has been live, so that was a fun thing. So next, I would like to play some of the music of Thelonious Monk, and this is one that I did a few times early on. I love playing it. I love Monk's music, and this is Blue Monk. Blue Monk, Thelonious Monk. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Let's see. In addition to our sponsors, we've had some just super VIPs. Folks have supported what we're doing here in trying to, really have a high quality level of music and equipment and video and audio as best we can under the circumstances, and deliver something that's interesting and edifying and worthy of your attention and that keeps us all connected. And so these folks, as well as all of you just being here, has really helped out because we've wanted to keep this free and available to everybody around the world via YouTube. We're working on making best use of the YouTube algorithm, the positive things. We all know about the negative things. We're trying to spread around beautiful things and music and connections with people. So with your help, we've been able to do that. So feel free to share this and like and subscribe and all that good stuff. But we've had some very special super VIPs, and these are folks that I feel like I know. I mean, some of them I do know. And I apologize in advance. I'm going to leave some people out, but really thank you to everybody. First of all, Marty Daly, who's somebody who doesn't like to have he likes to be in the shadows, but he's a major force as a music appreciator and just as a human being here in St. Louis, and I love him dearly, and he supported so much what we're doing here. So big shout out to Marty. Jamie and Jeff Ryan. Oh, and let me just say, one of our sponsors, actually, Jeff is one of the partners with Christner Architects. That's another, we had so many sponsors, I'm forgetting them now. But Jamie and Jeff Ryan have been huge supporters, VIP supporters here of Shelter in Place, and also Christner Architects is one of our sponsors tonight. So thank you guys so much for that. Ted Wheeler, who sponsored just a couple of weeks ago, or was that last week? He's sponsoring again tonight. And his father, Ted Sr., who I believe might be watching up in Iowa tonight, it's his 90th birthday. So we're sending out happy birthday to Big Ted's dad, Big Ted Sr., and much love to the whole Wheeler family. Love you guys. Hope that you're doing well. So Ted and American Family Insurance are another sponsor. I told you we had a lot of sponsors. And then other VIPs, Erica Sandiford and her family, Carol Revelt, Ann Martin, my sister from another mother, Lila Lee, Debbie, my other sister from another mother in Arizona, huge supporter, Janet and David Heffernan. Now, these folks, I believe, are watching. They sent us a message today saying they were going to stay up. They usually watch the next day because they're in the UK, so it's in the middle of the night. So Janet and David, if you guys are watching, whenever you're watching, thank you so much for your support. I know you guys have been here the whole time, and I really appreciate it. Bruce and Anthony and just so many different folks. Rich in Las Vegas, and I'm going to forget more. But anyway, thank you guys for your support. And right now I'm going to play, I'm going to do flamenco sketches. I love playing this song. This is from Kind of Blue, one of my favorite records that happens to be one of like humanity's favorite jazz records because I think it's the best-selling jazz record of all time. But it's really good. So those two things can go together. This is written by Bill Evans and Miles Davis. Flamenco sketches. Thank you very much. That was Broadmoor. A little bit of New Orleans for you. A little bit of, what is that? 696 miles south from here on the Mississippi River. Not that I'm counting or anything, but there you go. Broadmoor. I wrote that a few years ago. That's about my, my old neighborhood. Our old neighborhood in New Orleans. Very vibrant, very interesting place. A lot of characters. Lived and live in that neighborhood. It's a really cool place if you ever get a chance to go. Make sure you know what block you're going on, though, because you got to know the right part of Broadmoor. Yeah, Broadmoor. Some folks, you can't see them. Can you see them? No, you can't see them over here, but I can see them. I've had a group of folks that have joined me, started out informally, early on. I can't tell you what week, but maybe somebody knows and could drop into the chat. But we had like a little green room get-together on Zoom after the concerts. And it started out real informal. Then it became like a VIP thing. And then it became just kind of, folks that had been there. And, it gave me so much energy to keep this going, to get to meet folks and to talk to them and to hear what they like, what they didn't, to hear about their lives, how they were doing, where they were in the world, what's going on. And it was such a great connection. And so I just want to shout out some of these folks. Amy, who has been there since the beginning from Memphis. Ronald JC, and again, I apologize if I forget. I can see a bunch of you, but everybody's small now because there's a lot of people on tonight. So I'm going to try to catch everybody. Ronald JC, who's a comedian and keyboardist himself in New Jersey. Gordon, Philip in North Carolina, who's been there every week. Joe in Houston, or as he likes to say, Antarctica, which is the Houston of the Southern Hemisphere. Joe M. John, Donna, my buddy Donna, she's always been there except for when she had to work a couple of times, but she's been back. David, I told you about David. He's always there too, so that's been a really fun connection. Colleen and Norrico are in there sometimes, quite a bit, and they are actually some of our Open Studio star students of Adam Manis's over at his daily guided practice session, so shout out to them. And then, who else? Well, Romero Lubambo, and Elio Alves, who just happen to be friends of mine, but they also happen to be some of the greatest musicians on the planet, and they both happen to come from Brazil, but from two different cities, two different warring cities, Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo. But they've been there like every week, and it's been I was so nervous, and then I just got kind of used to them being there. But they come to the show, and we meet afterwards, which is such a great thing. So big shout out to Elio and Romero. Thank you guys so much. And then Aaron from the UK, who's one of our youngest members. I think he just became of legal age since this has been going on. And Torrin's been known to stop in. He actually had a baby. These are the young guys. He had a baby since we started. So thank you, and thank you everybody else. I'm sorry I'm forgetting some people, but there you go. Thank you to all the Zoom folks, the green room folks, the VIP folks. Next, I'd like to do, so I'm trying to fit a lot of music and a lot of thank yous in. And the more people I mention, the less I want to forget people. So there you go. Next, I'm going to do what's become one of my favorite songs to play. And you know what? Had I not had this chance to do all the solo piano, I don't think I would have ever even thought about this song as solo piano. I don't know if anyone else has ever done it. Well, probably somebody. But it's really just so associated with Kenny Garrett, Kenny Kirkland, the late, great Kenny Kirkland. And this is Kenny Garrett's song, Sing a Song of Song. Thank you very much. That's Lush Life, of course. Billy Strayhorn, the master, and his masterpiece written at the age of 16. And I love that song. I want to play it forever. So thank you, Billy Strayhorn. Thank you for everybody being here this evening. This is week 52 and Shelter in Place. We're going to kind of segue this to becoming connected in place because we're still being careful. I'm not preaching to anybody here, but what I've loved about this is the connection I've made with you guys and with each other. And so we're not having to shelter as much. We're still having to stay in place some, but I want this to be connected in place. And we're going to be back next week. This is how we do it on Friday night. Some more folks I want to thank. I got the sponsors. Okay, this is, you guys don't know how hard this is for me to do. Oh, I know. These are some important folks. This is my family. I talked about my parents and my sister and brother-in-law who are co-sponsoring tonight. Kelly Martin is my wife. She's co-sponsoring my life currently. So I love you dearly. Kelly, Daniel, and Rachel, and Ian, my children. Big shout out to Ian and Katie in New York City. Actually, Rachel Martin was the original video switcher until we became automated here, until she had to go back to college. So much love to Rachel. And Kelly Martin and Daniel Martin also did. This has been a family affair here. Did some video switching. And Ian is producing tonight. So there you go. Big shout out to David and Ruth Horwell in the UK, my cousins, my second cousins, first cousins, my mom's cousins, who watch every week. So much love to them. Frank and Carol London, my beloved aunt and uncle in Durham, North Carolina, who originally exposed me to jazz in New Orleans many, many years ago when they were living there. And Allison Gary Miles, my aunt and uncle in Phoenix, Arizona. Much love to all you guys. And last but not least, I'm gonna do one more tune, and I don't really know, because I want to do some Stevie Wonder, but I want to do Cuba, New Orleans too, and I also want to do Caravan. So if you guys have a preference in the chat, yes, thank you to Bosendorfer, somebody put. Absolutely. They didn't give me the piano. We had to buy it, so we were thanking them, but it ain't as big of a thanks as an endorsement. But that'll be next. No, I'm still endorsed by Steinway, which is sitting right over there, still needing repair. Garaches Parish, we got, which is Cuba, New Orleans, some Stevie Wonder I could do, some Caravan. I don't know. But last and certainly not least, I want to thank my Open Studio team, of which, not having every one of them, this would have never been possible. Starting with Rachel Morgan. This is in no particular order. Rachel Morgan, many of you know, she's produced many, many of the shows, almost all of them, and is really the brawn and much of the brains behind this whole operation for keeping things going. Dan Martin, my partner and co-founder with the whole Open Studio concept 5 years ago, and has produced many of these shows as well. Ian Martin, who's producing tonight. Rachel Martin, who, as I said, was our original video switcher and videographer. Adam Manis, who's just done so much to hook up the sound. As it's gotten better and better, it's because of Adam, my partner on content over at Open Studio as well. Max Gamiz, who's the genius transcriber for Open Studio and for us here. You might have seen some of his transcription. He's down in Durango, Mexico, and is probably the best jazz and other transcriber in the world today. And we're lucky to have him at Open Studio. Brian Fielding, who is one of our co-sponsors tonight and is behind such things as the upcoming Fred Hirsch course, co-producing that and many other great things, and one of our partners at Open Studio, and a very good jazz pianist himself. Jill Indovino and Sam and Andrew. Jill has been doing wonderful things for us. Anyway, I could go on and on about these great folks at Open Studio, but just let you know that this would not be happening without them. And thanks to Open Studio, that's kind of been our main sponsor during this whole thing, keeping all this going, the equipment and everything. So, do we have, Don't You Worry About a Nice, oh yeah, Stevie Wonder, Cuban, it looks like it's evenly split. All right, I'm going to play one more. I'm really scared that I forgot to thank anybody. If I did, I love you. And I'll be back next week. And, after this tune, please stick around. We're going to do just this quick little video we put together. It's a lot of fun. I think it's a lot of fun. And thanks to all our sponsors again tonight. Thanks to all our VIP ticket buyers and everybody. If you want to pick up a ticket, go to petermartin.live. I should have said that earlier, but you can do that whenever. And that supports us going for free. We got tickets starting at just $1 For folks that are broke and haven't got that stimulus check yet, no problem. You can pick up a ticket for $1. And, oh, yeah, 20% of the ticket proceeds for tonight is going to, as it does every week, to a nonprofit. This week is very special because it's the Ellis Marsalis Center and the Musicians Village in New Orleans in the Upper Ninth Ward. This is a organization that's doing amazing things that I've been involved with actually at the very beginning when they were rebuilding after Katrina, and it's just amazing. They have a village where musicians can live at affordable rates. They rebuilt a great part of the Ninth Ward, and then they also have a school. They have a hall and a recording facility named after Ellis Marsalis, and so it's a first-rate institution that's doing amazing educational and performance things and keeping the music alive down in New Orleans and rebuilding the Ninth Ward, most importantly. So 20% of all ticket sales will go towards that. So that's another reason. We've actually raised over $10,000. We're going over $10,000 tonight. And I know we're going to do it with what you guys are doing, and Open Studio is going to cover it even if we don't. So we're definitely going over $10,000 in this last year, and I can't tell you how proud I am. That's because of you guys and your support that we've been able to do that with these pledges each week, and it's been to a number of different amazing organizations that I'm really honored for us to be partnering with and to be able to support. So thank you guys for doing that. Much more to come on that. Tomorrow night, we have the great Romero Lubambo and Ed Simon, who's one of my favorite piano players. If you don't know him, you're going to love him. Please check that out over at the Open Studio YouTube channel. That's at 7 o'clock Eastern time, so an hour before this one. I'm going to be there. It's going to be a great show. Romero's been doing great things on Saturday nights. So please check that out. And I'm going to take us out. And it looks like Cuba New Orleans has a lot there. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to play the video. So please stick around. Thank you, guys. I love you. Peace and piano. Thank you very much. That's Cuba, New Orleans. Thank you guys so much. All right. We're going to watch this video. Give me just a second to set it up. Hope you guys had a good evening. Hope that you are all good. Let's see here. See if we can get this working. And audio. Okay. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Well, thank you so much for being here. I'm Peter Martin, and we are live, and this has been a crazy week. Wow. I'm going to play some piano for you guys, try to bring some